Okay, so I haven't actually seen the movie yet. I mean, no one has. But I'm still 100% confident this video is going to have major spoilers for the upcoming Superman movie. Why? Because this one thing basically gives away the entire plot. And honestly, I think I cracked the whole story arc. Let's get into it. So the film kicks off with this intense sneak peek shot. Superman's falling from the sky, calling out to Krypto for help. Krypto takes him to the Fortress of Solitude, where we meet these alien healing robots for the first time. They use solar energy to heal him, and this is where we really start learning about those machines. Then it jumps to Lex Luthor. Yeah, the guy's still obsessed with hating Superman. Surprise, surprise. He's teamed up with this fictional nation. Let's call it Bavaria, which we already saw in the teaser trailer. It's clearly inspired by today's real-world political war scenarios. Together, Lex and this nation are working on some kind of weapon. Lex is clearly the one pulling the strings here. Now, Superman, being Superman, flies in to save the people of this war-torn place. But Lex goes full psycho. He literally orders the army to kill every civilian there, just because they chose to trust Superman. That's when we get Superman's first mass entry scene, and it's not just him rescuing kittens from trees. This is full-on battlefield Superman, saving kids, ending wars, kicking ass. This action set piece is going to be huge. It's also the emotional pivot of the movie. The public's perception shifts hard. First, everyone loves Superman. Then in Act 2, things get messy. People start turning on him. And by the end, he earns their trust again. Everyone but Lex, of course. He'll always be a hater. Now here's where things get wild. Jimmy Olsen is in the movie, and he's super comic accurate. But they add this weird twist. He's got a female stalker. And from what my sources and the comics hint at, this crazy girl is actually Lex's girlfriend. Yeah, total plot twist. She's been secretly sending Jimmy like NSFW photos, and the guy's totally caught up in this mess. Meanwhile, at the Daily Planet, Clark and Lois have some serious tension. Lois is pissed that Clark always gets the Superman interviews. But later in the film, we find out the whole office beef was just a smokescreen. They're actually hiding a romantic relationship, since workplace dating's not allowed. And it gets deeper. They're not just dating, they're planning kids. Later, Lois finally gets her exclusive Superman interview. And no, that's not a sex joke, it's a real sit-down. But during the interview, Lois gets frustrated. She's disappointed that Clark doesn't fully grasp the consequences of jumping into foreign conflicts and political wars. Clark sees the world in black and white, while Lois sees all the gray areas. And if Clark plays his cards right, maybe, just maybe, he'll win her over again. But this isn't just about Superman's dual identity. We get to see Lois Lane as both a badass journalist and a tough girlfriend who really gets what her man stands for. Anyway, back to the chaos. Lex goes full Bond villain and releases giant kaiju-style monsters in Metropolis using some wild pocket dimension tech. He's literally importing these beasts from another reality just to ruin Superman's day. Superman holds it down, but this time he needs help from the Justice Society. That's right, this is their first full on-screen appearance. And throughout the movie, there are subtle hints and lines that tease the formation of a future team, basically DC's version of a Civil War storyline. Now, somewhere in the plot, Lex manages to create a Superman clone. He uses it to infiltrate something, kill the healing robots, and uncover a corrupted message left by Superman's biodad, Jor-El. The message is super cryptic, and it's meant to be open-ended, for us, the audience, and for Lex. But Lex manipulates the footage to look like Superman wasn't sent to Earth to protect it. He was sent to conquer it. Yeah, they're going full Omni-Man reference here. And of course, Lex being Lex, he blasts that message to the whole world as propaganda. Suddenly, everyone starts seeing Superman as a global threat. Thing is, Superman did screw up a bit. He jumped into foreign wars without fully understanding the consequences. He didn't cooperate with world governments or even the Justice Society. So when the fake message airs, people are already on edge. Lex uses that fear like fuel. During all this, Superman's trying to beat a kaiju to save the city, but the public just turns on him. They forget he saved them. All they see is the edited broadcast and some cooked-up conspiracy theories. Eventually, Superman ends up inside Lex's weird pocket dimension prison, along with Krypto and other captured heroes. It's this twisted lair where Lex has locked up everyone he ever hated, even his ex. We meet Metamorpho here, an emotional, critical character. He's in love with Simon Stagg's daughter, Stagg Industries. Anyone? Their romance is real, but everyone thinks the guy's ugly as hell. There's a moment where he literally turns his left hand into kryptonite, weakening Superman. That's how Lex's guards actually managed to beat him. But Superman's heart, his goodness, changes Metamorpho. He ends up creating a miniature sun to heal Superman, and even helps him escape. Oh, and Superman is holding a baby? Probably Metamorpho's son. Not confirmed, but have you seen that face? Definitely his. Jimmy, Lois, and the Justice Society track the pocket dimension and start planning a rescue. They get help from some tech nerds, possibly the T-Spheres. They break everyone out. Now the tables turn. Superman's free, flying around the world, putting out fires, literally rescuing people everywhere, ignoring borders and politics. Slowly, public opinion shifts. The survivors start speaking out. Superman's not the threat. Lex is. Turns out Lex has been building a private army, even cloning Superman. He's gearing up for global war. But eventually, the real message from Jor-El gets exposed. We learn that Lex's version was a manipulated, AI-generated half-truth. Then comes the final battle. Lex shows up in his iconic green and purple armor, unleashing clones and total mayhem. After a brutal fight, Superman wins, but we never get a clear ending. Like, did he flee? Is he in prison? Probably not, because that Superman in prison arc already happened in Batman vs. Superman, and James Gunn is definitely not rehashing that. What Gunn has hinted at is that the next Superman project won't be a straightforward sequel. It might look more like a Batman-Superman team-up, but with some serious tension. The movie won't just end with a Superman saves the day bow. Lex escapes, obviously, for a big comeback. And the final scene? Superman returns to the Fortress of Solitude and says to the computer, "Please, show me my family." But instead of seeing Jor-El and Lara, we get a shot of Jonathan and Martha Kent, his human parents. Total emotional gut punch. And then, boom. A drunk sorority girl stumbles into the frame like, you got my dog? You've had him for a week. I want him back now." Yup, that's your Supergirl tease. So yeah, that's how I cracked the code on the Superman storyline. What do you think? Did I miss any details you caught? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget, this is Content Robber, signing off.